The last painting is going to be Summer Evening on the Lake. I painted this picture last year based on a photo I took when we were out swimming in a nice little lake nearby. It was such a nice peaceful evening. I followed this photo when painting, but I decided to leave out this big dry tree in the middle. So I would like to paint this scenery once again with you. Again, I tape my paper to a hardboard. There will be quite a lot of water used and this paper is quite buckling when wet. Good, let's make a quick sketch. The same as before, no details, just a rough sketch of where the main objects are. The trees, the horizon, the lake. The sky will be wet in wet again, so let's apply clean water to the area of sky and then let's paint some nice warm summer evening. The sky appears to be yellow. There is also a blue part, but around the sun it seems yellow, so I'm using a light mix of raw sienna and apply it on the wet paper, also suggesting the sun, which is basically white circle. Because the paper is wet, the shape of the sun would be disappearing or losing its definition, but I have the good old paper towels to help me control the color spreading. And now I'm painting the rest of the sky light blue. It's ultramarine again. The two colors should create nice seamless gradient wash if your paper is wet enough. And now I'm just correcting the sun a bit and the sky is done. We can now work on the lake. I am using the same light raw sienna as for the sky, maybe a bit lighter even, and some light ultramarine as well, just like when painting the sky. Note that I leave out a thin stripe of dry paper between the lake and the sky. It's very important. Make sure the lake is really light. And now I'm creating the first layer of light color on the foreground. While the lake is still wet, let's paint the reflection of the trees on the other side. I have my medium brush and sepia color, and I'm just dropping the color right under the dry stripe. The pigment spreads immediately and creates a lovely reflection in the water. Now I add a bit of ultramarine and raw sienna mix. In the meantime, the foreground is already dry and I can start building up the layers of the lake grasses and plants. So I have a warm mix of raw sienna and olive green, and I'm applying this color in short, vertical brush strokes. The foreground is composed of countless vertical objects, and instead of drawing every single grass, I will build up the richness of the greenery using several layers of simple brushstrokes. Same goes for the tree. Instead of painting each tiny leaf, I'm applying the colors in rough, uneven dots and blobs, leaving out some of the sky to see through and suggesting some shadow down on the left side. Now I'm bringing some shadows and darker tones also to the foreground, creating a contrast and texture we need. Now we can leave the foreground to dry a little bit and we can focus on the trees casting the reflection in the water. The reason why I paint the reflection first is that I have less control over what's happening on wet paper. So I let the reflection turn out somehow and then I adjust the real trees, which I paint on dry paper accordingly. I start with a stripe of a warm raw sienna, that is the grass the sun is shining on. And then I mix myself a cooler green tones using olive green and ultramarine, and I'm following the reflection and painting the tree space on that. Here I tried to finish the big tree on the left side, but as you can see the leaves are still not dry, so I'm going to focus on the biggest tree on the other side. I just add few thin lines to represent the branches and trunk. And now we are ready to add some of the plants that grow by the lake. I have my liner brush and a mix of burnt umber and olive green. This is how the lake grass looks. It's really simple. And this simple grass covers the shore of the lake, so I'm drawing it in different mixes of olive green, burnt umber and raw sienna. Under the tree on the left side there is a bunch of grasses casting a shadow below them. Let's add this shadow using ultramarine. Now a few more lake grasses in the foreground. Don't be afraid to use different colors. And now the tree seems to be dry already. I have my thin brush, which draws really fine lines, and I draw several branches and twigs peeking out from between the leaves. I used a mix of ultramarine and burnt umber. And that's it! Let's see how the painting looks when the tape is removed. I must say I really like it, and it really has this relaxing evening vibe.